Ready, Terry? All right, I call cause number 26,958. The case is styled in the interest of Lathan Clyde Hammett, a child. This is a hearing on a petition to establish the parent-child relationship. This hearing is being conducted, and here comes my announcement. This hearing is being conducted by remote video teleconferencing technology. We are using the Zoom protocol. This hearing is also being live streamed on the court's YouTube channel in order to provide access to the public. All of these special manner in which we are conducting these hearings is to comply with the Texas Supreme Court orders and the Office of Court Administration mandates. Ms. Scott, on behalf of the Attorney General's office, are you ready to proceed?
Present, ready, Your Honor.
And are you Cherokee Maria Morin?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
The respondent in this case is Raymond Perez. Mr. Perez was served with citation on the 8th day of December 2020. That citation was returned to this court on December 11, 2020. It has been on file for more than 10 days. No answer or appearance has been made by Mr. Morin. He has not contacted the court's office to note that he is appearing or to let us have any indication that he is appearing. Therefore, he is in default. Ms. Scott, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I'd like to call as a witness Cherokee Maureen, please.
Ms. Morin, would you raise your right hand and be sworn as a witness?
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you may give in this cause shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. And Ms. Scott, you may proceed.
Ms. Maureen, are you the mother of Lathan Hammett, the child that's the subject of the suit today?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is Lathan?
He's 4.
Who is his father?
Raymond Perez.
And are you confident that Raymond Perez is his biological father?
Yes, ma'am.
And why are you confident of that?
It was between him and another guy, and the other guy was already tested, and so it just leaves him.
Okay, so there were only 2 people that could have been the father during the time of conception, and the other father was already excluded through DNA testing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Has Mr. Perez been involved at all with Lathan since the time of his birth?
No, ma'am.
Have they ever met?
No, ma'am.
Have you and Mr. Perez resided together at any point since he was born?
No, ma'am.
Has Mr. Perez helped you financially in any way since his birth?
No, ma'am.
What do you currently do as far as Lathan's medical coverage?
He's on a Medicaid through AmeriGroup.
Okay. Do you have any private health or dental insurance available for him at this time?
No, just through Medicaid. That's it.
Okay. Do you know what Mr. Perez does for a living?
I do not.
As far as you know, is there any reason he's physically incapable of holding a job?
I'm pretty sure he can hold the job.
Is he physically, you don't know of any disability or anything else that
No.
might prevent him from being able to work, correct?
No, ma'am.
Does Mr. Perez have any other children under the age of 18?
No.
Now, he's been incarcerated for some periods during the past 4 years. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your estimate during the past 4 years or since Lathan's birth that he's been incarcerated approximately 24 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you opposed to Mr. Perez establishing a relationship and having some access to your son?
No, I'm not opposed at all.
Are you requesting that the court order those first periods, should he want to be involved with his son, that those first periods of possession be supervised by you and occur at McDonald's here in Snyder on the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of the month from 2 to 4 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you wanting that to continue for a year or 36 periods of possession to establish that initial relationship between your son and his father?
Yes, ma'am.
After that time, if he successfully completes those visitations, are you comfortable with him having Lathan alone from Saturdays, first, third, and fifth Saturday of the month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you like that to continue for 36 periods or 1 year, granted or conditioned on the fact that he would complete all of those periods of possession?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you familiar with the term standard possession order and what that entails?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Are you familiar with the term a standard possession order and what that entails?
Not really.
Okay.
Sorry.
That would entail first, third, and fifth weekends for the non-custodial parent, as well as holiday visitations. Are you familiar with that sort of setup visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that because you have an older child who has that sort of schedule?
Yes, ma'am.
And if Mr. Perez successfully completes these first 2 years of visitation and then has established a relationship with Lathan, are you comfortable with him having standard possession at that point?
Yes.
Is there any reason to think that Mr. Perez would be a danger to you or to Lathan?
Sure, to hope not. But with his past history of being in prison, does give me a little bit of worry. Because honestly, I don't even know what he's been to prison for.
Does he have any history of drug use that you're aware of?
I'm not really sure on that either. I think his brother at one point did tell me he did drugs, but that was years ago. So I don't know about current.
Do you have a safety issue or past family violence issue with someone other than him that's not a party to this case?
Yes, I have.
Are you requesting for that reason that your information would not be disclosed in a court order?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that if your information was disclosed, it might cause or have a possibility of causing you harm or harassment if that person located your contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Moran, do you have any additional testimony or evidence you wish to give?
No, sir.
I have a clarification question, probably more to Ms. Scott. It involves maybe even two questions. A couple of times talking about the first 2 years access that's supervised, you referenced that these particular identified periods would be for the first, third, and fifth weekends, and they would last for 1 year or 36 periods. 1 year would be 26 periods, not 36, because there are, well, actually, that's not true. It would be 28 periods, I guess. First and third weekends is 2 times a month, times 12, that's 24. There are only there are only 4 fifth weekends per year. And so that would be 28 periods instead of 36.
Okay, I think that would be acceptable because I know the conversation that we had was for 1 year. And of course, I'm thinking 3 weekends a month, 12 weeks a year. So I think 28 would be acceptable to you, would it not, Ms. Maureen? Because that would be a year of completed
Right.
visitations.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right.
And of course, we're not requesting that it be the step up not be tied to the actual calendar year, but that it would be tied to completing those successfully to move up to the next level of visitation.
The 28 periods.
Correct.
Okay. That was my other clarification question, and you just answered it. So have you put that in the order? Mr. Moran, have you taken a parent education and family stabilization class?
Yes, sir. With my daughter, I had to.
All right. Do you remember, do we have that? We're double checking that. Not questioning you, just to make sure we
Yeah.
have it.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, we have that on file. And so that takes care of your obligation to complete that class. You've already completed it, so you don't have to do that again.
Okay.
Do you know if Mr. Perez has ever taken such a class?
As far as I know, he has not.
All right. We will put in the order that he is required to take a class. Are you in communication with him?
Very little. The last I talked to him was back in December to let him know that he'd missed court. And he asked me when would be the new court date. I sent him that information back on the 4th of this month, I believe. I don't have my phone with me, so.
It's all right. So
No,
you
no.
told him that that court would be today?
Yes, sir. I sent him a picture of the paper that I'd gotten, letting me know that I had court today. So he didn't have an excuse saying that he didn't get it within enough time or anything like that, because that was his excuse last time.
Okay, it's good thinking.
Yes, sir.
Well, in the order, he will be ordered to take and complete the parent education and family stabilization class on or before our March. Well, let me pause and ask and look a little bit. What are the court costs in this case?
I have a $211, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm going to order that April 14, 2021 be the date that Mr. Perez has the court costs paid by and completes this parent education and family stabilization class. And if he doesn't have those accomplished and reported or certificates filed with the clerk before that date, he'll have to appear in court on that date to show cause why he shouldn't be held in contempt. And moving a little bit ahead, Ms. Scott, do you have anything else?
Your Honor, if I may just sum up the state's request.
Yes, ma'am, you may.
We are requesting that Ms. Maureen be ordered to keep the child enrolled in a government health care program, and that Mr. Perez be ordered to pay $40 cash medical support beginning February 1st of 2021, that he be ordered to pay $220 per month in child support based on a minimum wage presumption, that he be ordered to pay retroactive child support in the amount of $5,280, which represents minimum wage for the 24 months that Ms. Maureen believes he was not incarcerated during the retroactive period. And of course, we request that the stepped up visitation schedule as testified to be ordered.
And do you have a request about a payment plan for paying the retroactive support?
I do, Your Honor. Ms. Maureen and I visited about that and would like him to be ordered to pay $80 per month and believe that to be reasonable.
All right. I grant the order establishing the paternity. I appoint Ms. Morin as the sole managing conservator of the child. Approve the access plan outlined in the testimony and clarified by the court. I find Mr. Perez is obligated to pay retroactive child support in the sum of $5,280 and to repay that at the rate of $80 per month. I order current child support to be set at $220 per month using the minimum wage presumption. And further that Mr. Perez reimburse in a cash medical reimbursement payment of $40 per month. And that he pay court costs in the sum of $211 on or before April 14, 2021. And that Mr. Perez complete a parent education and family stabilization class and file the certificate of showing completion with the district clerk all before April 14, 2021. And if he has not done so, for him to appear in court to show cause why he shouldn't be held in contempt for not taking care of those obligations. That's the court costs and the parent education and family stabilization class obligations. I believe that covers everything, and we'll be in recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Morin.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Do we have any other? I'll close your computer, Ms. Morin.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Scott, do we have any others this morning?
No, nothing that needs a hearing this morning, Your Honor.
I've signed some orders that have been presented. And if there are others, I'll take care of those too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Terry?